Bismillah wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. There's a beautiful hadith narrated from the Prophet upon him where Rasulullah says, if you see injustice, stop it with your hand. And if you can't stop it with your hand, stop it with your tongue. And if you can't do that, then hate that act in your heart. And that is the weakest form of Iman, of faith. Now, why this hadith and why today? SubhanAllah, as Muslims, we're not supposed to be tolerating injustice, regardless of who the oppressed are. So now, if you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal and the Judgment Day, then it's an absolute must on you to ensure that we stand against injustice. It's absolutely understandable, it's completely understandable that it's not easy to stand against injustice. At times, you could end up losing everything. But at the end of the day, what is easy? If we allow injustice, then we go back to the same verse from Surah Rum. Basically, the corruption is spread on earth and on the land. All because of what? Because of our own doings. Now, we allow injustice with our own hands. And that is what caused the corruption in society, a wide range of corruption from everything. Today, it's if you are against injustice, you are demonized. And that has been tradition in the world for the most part. Like everywhere, when there's injustice, if you are against it, you will be demonized. You will be demonetized. You will face consequences of it. But that is where the reward lays in. Where Allah Azza wa Jal says, Allah Azza wa Jal praises people who stand against tyrants. People who speak against tyrants. The Prophet, peace be upon him, praises people who stand against injustice on the face of tyrants. Like just, for example, Musa alayhi salam. It is completely understandable. The fear is always there, even if that's against your colleagues at work, like if they or your friends at a community center or anywhere. Like if they are the one who are the oppressive, the people who have the power. There's always a fear there. That fear is part of the human life. But our tawakkul, our trust should be in Allah Azza wa Jal. That's where we are the winners. That's where we see a higher purpose. Injustice should never be tolerated. We see day in and day out against our brothers. That's whether within the countries where we live in or that's in Gaza. If you're one of those people who actually have influence, power and thousands of followers, especially online, a scholar, a long beard, mashallah, it is your responsibility. You have to speak. The bare minimum you can do is speak. If you can't speak, at least don't attend the meetings where issues are discussed that actually people's life depends on it. How would we respond to Allah Azza wa Jal? We get it, this life is difficult. There's a lot of, we all depend on one thing or another. We need livelihood, we need an income. But above all of these things is standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. How are we going to respond to Allah Azza wa Jal? What do we have to respond to Allah Azza wa Jal? That should be our number one concern, is to be standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal and have an excuse why we did or why we did not do. Let's have that excuse in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, whether we did or we did not. But let's have that excuse in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. We can't just say, oh, I was afraid. Shouldn't we be afraid of Allah Azza wa Jal, who is the owner of everything, who's the creator of everything? Our brothers are in desperate need all around the world, in Gaza.